Geometry, angle bisectors of triangle. Let's talk about distance from a point to a line, right? Looking at this, how far is P from, let's say, ray AB, sorry, ray BA? Is it this? Is it this? Is it all the way out here? Or is it this one, right? I think we would agree that the distance between the P and the ray BA is this one and this one because it is the closest. But how would you describe that? Okay, so generally speaking, if you have a line like this and you have a point P, right? And you could draw a bunch of lines, but it's the one that is the closest that matters. And it just happens that closest line over here to line L, let's say, is in fact the perpendicular to the segment. Let's give it a point B here, right? So the distance between point P and line L is PB, comma, where segment PB is perpendicular to the line L. Okay. Yes. So that's how we find the distance between a point to a line, or how we define them. Okay. So we have applying the angle bisector theorem that we have over here, guys, right? And but before that, we need to do what we just did. The distance from a point to a line is the length of the perpendicular segment from point to the line. So that's the very succinct way of describing what we just did right here, guys. Okay. All right. And what angle bisector theorem says is that point on a perpendicular bisector, on a bisector of an angle, then the point is equidistant from the sides of the angle. So if you have, let's say, PC, ray PC is angle bisector of the angle APB, then point C is equidistant from PA and PB ray. Okay. All right. That's basically what it says. So because PC bisects the angle, it means that the angle APC is congruent to angle PBC, and therefore the segment AC and BC are congruent or equal to each other. And there's a converse of that, which says that if a point on the interior of the point is equidistant, right here is equidistant from that, then this point is on the bisector of the angle. So if the AC and the BC are congruent, then the angles APC is congruent to angle BPC. Okie dokie, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and do an example for the next one. So we're here to find the measure what? VP. So we know that, okay, how do I do this? Okay, according to the picture, the given information is what? The angle VSP is congruent to the angle WSP, right? Which implies that the ray SP bisects angle VSW, right? And from the theorem that we just learned, the angle bisector theorem, okay, so by angle bisector theorem, we could say that point P, which is on the what? Angle bisector, right? Point P is equidistant from sides of the angle. So that means that the VP, what we're looking for, has to be equal to WP, which is 4.9. Now, this is not really realistic to write Because it's kind of long, right? When you're doing a problem. So this is like what you should be sort of thinking, but what you should be writing is the following. Like for the homework that is, okay? So you could say that the, what do you call this thing? VP is equal to WP is equal to 4.9. You could say because point P, sorry, point P is on the angle bisector. Okay. Or we could say that point B because you could say angle bisector theorem. Either one is okay. You could say that or by the angle bisector theorem. Either one is okay with me. All right, guys. All right, let's go on to the next example. That's 7.2.5 from your book. So it says that the measure of the angle FJ, find it given that the GFJ is 45 degrees. Well, it's telling you that the point G is equidistant because they're both 10.2 from the sides of the triangle. So we know that they're bisectors, right? Right, and they also gave you that the this right here is 45 degrees, right? So, I'm gonna write a little shorter this time, okay? Since GH equal to GJ, which is both equal to 10.2, right? We say that G is on the what? Angle bisector, right? So we know that the angle HFG has to equal to measure of JFG, which are both 45 degrees. But HFJ is the sum of the two, right? We would say at this point, therefore, measure of the angle HFJ is the sum of the angle HFG plus the measure of JFG is equal to 45 plus 45, which is equal to 90 degrees. And there you go. Okay. So you have an opportunity to do a U-turn. Okay. And I'm going to show you the answers for this in a second. So pause the video, try this on your own, and we could go over some of them in class if you have a question. Okay, guys, here it goes. Okay, guys, that'll be it. So I will see you in the next class. Okay, have a good night.